First AR-10 build, let's talk about it. So what I have on the table in front of you guys today is my first AR-10 build. I wanted to get into something a little different from the typical AR-15 builds I've been doing, and so I did. It's been fun, it's been expensive, but it's been fun. That's the most important part. It's been fun, and I learned a little, maybe a lot. I learned a lot when building this compared to building, the typical AR-15. So just want to share with you guys my build and what it consists of, the parts I chose, kind of a little bit why I chose them. I'm not going to make this a super long video like I did in my last video, but we're going to just jump straight into this here. So just a little bit before I jump into it, actually, my thought process going at this was to build sort of a DMR rifle. So I'm not looking for something long range. I got a lot of hunting rifles and Ruger Precisions and different things that are more my long range rifles. This I wanted, long range, but more mid range. Like I said, a DMR rifle. So a designated marksman rifle. I've changed it up a few times since I started the build. Like I had this plan in my head, and then as things came along, I swapped out the scope a couple times. A few other things I just kind of swapped up. I think the pistol grip, possibly the trigger. I can't remember exactly, but I swapped things out a couple times. But I think I'm at a point where I'm satisfied with it. One of the things, the funny things I did when I first started this build was I went onto Aero Precision's website and I ordered a M5 upper receiver. This is their standard stripped M5 upper receiver. But as I got into, I think 2 days later, I ordered it, and over the course of the next couple days, while the order's processing, I started looking at kind of where I wanted to go in the direction of my build. So I realized that they make the enhanced rails and the enhanced receivers, because on my M4 E1 build from Aero, I went with the same thing with their enhanced M4 E1 enhanced upper and their M4 E1 enhanced rail there. So I knew they made that, but I kind of wanted to go, in a different direction for the M5, so the AR-10. But over the next couple days, I was like, you know what? I really like the rails, so I'm just going to go back to that. So I ordered another upper receiver. So I ordered their M5 E1 enhanced upper receiver, which makes pairing it to their rail seamless. So we'll start at the end here, at the beginning. We'll start at the beginning here, and we'll go over what this build consists of. So for the stock right here, I don't know if it's clear enough, if you guys can see it, right? So we'll do a flip around. It's a heavy rifle. It is heavy, and that's another reason I didn't want to go with the longer barrel, because it is a heavy rifle. So we'll start at the end. I got the Luth-AR. I don't know if it's pronounced Luther. I just call it the Luth-AR adjustable rifle stock. It's got an adjustable cheek riser. So we undo this here. So a little knob there. We can adjust the cheek riser there. So you see that? Now adjust that. And it's got adjustable length of pull with this knob here. There we go. So, you can go ahead and tighten it however you want. So Luth-AR, they have 3 different stocks. They have the NBA1, so this is the NBA1, the adjustable rifle stock. Then they have the NBA2, which is a fixed stock. I believe it's a fixed rifle stock. And then they have the NBA3, which is a carbine stock. Carbine, however you want to say it. Tomato. I went with for this build, I went with the NBA1. For some reason, going for that DMR look, I was going through a bunch of Magpul stocks. I think some of the PRS stocks and stuff like that, the precision stocks, and a few other stocks. And one fun thing about builds is you build enough, you want to get kind of creative with the parts you choose on your next build. So this just looked different. It looked unique. I really like it. I really like the way it fits this build. So I went with the NBA1 stock. This NBA1 stock came as an assembly, so it did come with the buffer tube, the spring, and the recoil buffer. So that was cool that you didn't have to go mix and match all that. It just all came together. All right, moving forward, we have now I'm not too familiar with the brand of this, but I found it. I found good reviews. Saw it online. I like this. This is the Breek Arms ambidextrous charging handle, and I don't know if you can see it. I'm kind of turning it just a little bit. You can just see the FDE on it. Let me see if I can go ahead and there you go. All right, this is called the Breek Arms Warhammer ambidextrous charging handle. And I really did it because of the cost, good reviews, and it's got the little FDE handles on there. Kind of a little aesthetic touch to the build. So, and it's been working perfectly. So that's been great. All right, BCG. I went with the Toolcraft BCG. So I was looking at some BCGs, and as the cost was creeping up on this build, I didn't want to jump too high in cost. So I was looking at Aero's BCG, which was about $250 or so, and they didn't have the greatest reviews, but they didn't have the worst reviews. But for $250, without the greatest reviews, I was going to go with my tried and true. So I went with a Toolcraft 308 BCG. Been working great. I've never had any issues in any other builds I've went with Toolcraft in. I think $100. I think I paid $100 for the. Now I think I know I paid $100 for the BCG in comparison to Aero's $250 BCG. I mean, you don't get the cool logo on the BCG, but hey, that doesn't bother me at all. All right, so trigger, we have the LaRue MBT straight bow trigger. I bought it at the time. I think they were about $79. I think they've gone up a little bit. This is a 2-stage trigger with it's a 4.5 pound trigger. They work great in all my builds, my AR-15 builds, my AR-10 builds. They swap between both. They just work perfectly. No issues whatsoever. I'll buy these triggers all day. If I could buy 100 of these triggers, I'd buy 100 of these triggers and put them in everything. I do have like some CMC triggers and some Timney triggers, but I just love the LaRue MBT trigger. So this is a straight bow trigger. I noticed when I was looking on their website, so this one it's kind of like, I don't want to say see-through, but it's kind of carved out there, kind of lightweight. I don't know if on their website I can see that spot is filled in. I don't know if that punches out or if their new triggers or are filled in now. So don't know, but if you go on their website and see, I can't see that it shows through the trigger. It's not like a see-through trigger. I don't know what you want to call it. Grip. This is the BCM Mod 3 Pistol Grip. It's an FDE, but obviously, with FDE, it's probably not going to be the same as the charging handle or the rail, but it's FDE and kind of, offsetting the colors a little bit. Receiver set. So this is the M5E1 Aero Precision enhanced. So it's their M5 enhanced receiver set so that the rail pairs seamlessly to the upper receiver. It is their M5 lower receiver, and I believe I went with it's an Aero Precision lower parts kit as well, minus the firing group and the trigger control and the grip. So yeah. Let's see here. What do we got? Let's moving on. So let's keep going. So this is the 16.6 inch Aero Precision enhanced rail. There's little screws here. Like I said, I don't know how well you can see this, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. It just slides right on top of the upper receiver, screws right in. That's how simple it is. So this is the 16.6. I went with an 18-inch barrel, and I just wanted the rail to sit just behind the tip of the barrel. So I did that on purpose. I wanted pretty much the longer barrel. I'm not a huge fan of rails that sit or barrels that extend a ton past the rail. It just aesthetically, I personally don't like the look, but I do like long barrel rifles and like my hunting configurations and different things like that. But just not for this style. I just didn't want to go with that. But I did go with so yeah, we got the M5 enhanced, and it is in a Magpul Cerakote FDE. Like I said, the FDE is going to be just a little bit different than this, which is why I was so surprised on my last video that I had with the Magpul Bipod and the Savage Precision FDEs matching so perfectly, because it just doesn't happen that way. I don't know if the video is going to show it well, but I like it, but they're not going to be a perfect match. Like when I went with on this AR-15 build here, this is another Aero Precision. I think it's like a 15.5 enhanced rail with their upper receiver and kind of a Seekins. I think this is a Seekins trigger guard. These FDs are really close. It's really close. Really like it. So, anyways, all right. So we have the Ballistic Advantage 18-inch chromoly steel barrel. This is 1 in 10 twist rate, and it's been working great. And when I took this thing out, I don't know what issues I would be expecting, but I think it's their, I want to say modern series, but I could be wrong on that, but I want to say it's their modern series. But you know, it paired up, everything paired up perfectly. I know with the AR-10 build, when I first started looking into it, there was this whole thing about, you know, the compatibility of AR-10 parts. You know, you got your DPMS and Armalite parts, which is I believe the upper receiver had a lower or higher profile. So that's another reason I went with the enhanced, so I can just skip all of that. You know, when I bought this, I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to learn about all these other parts. And I was just like, you know what, let's go with the enhanced. Aero simplified it, and it's worked great. Down here we got the vertical foregrip. Is the BCM Mod 3 vertical foregrip. So the BCM Mod 3 vertical foregrip and the BCM Mod 3 pistol grip works great. I love it. You know, this is more, especially due to the weight of the rifle, it's more of a rifle I'm going to be on this bipod on, but when I need to hold it, because, you know, this works great and gives a nice little look. We have the Magpul Mlok bipod. So, you know, we got the, I don't know how well you'll see it here. So it folds up, of course, like every bipod, hopefully, and folds down. It is, it's got the length is 6.8 inches, and it extends to 10.3, so it's got about a 3.5 inch extension on it. So kind of sits like that. It's a decent bipod. There's some reviews out there, people don't like the wobble of it. You'll see when you're looking for bipods, some people don't like the wobble of the Magpul bipods, but if you set up on the bipod right, it takes the wobble out of it, so you don't really have a big issue with wobble. I'm not saying it's the greatest bipod by any means. I think it's $100, and at least when I purchased it, it was, and it works fine. So in the extended mode here, so when it's not extended, let's go back that way. So we're in our lowest configuration there, and there we can fit the Magpul 10 round PMag in here. It's a 10 round PMag, you know, and that fits perfectly there. So let's show you again. You saw earlier the rifle is empty and the mag is empty as well. So it sits perfectly like that. But when you want to run that 25 round PMag, you know, it's still, you know, flat a bit, but you get that nice extension there. So you just say you want to go all the way out, and you want to, you know, sit up on the bipod there, you know, see it like this, and look at that. So, you know, you get it, you know, get it in your shoulder, you're pressed up on it. It works. This bipod does have, let me remove this mag here. Now this bipod is they're creating quite a few of them, so I'm not sure where this falls up in the lineup at. But the one I have on my Savage Precision has no pan, no tilt. This one does have pan and tilt, so you got your tilt there, which is nice, and you got your pan there. So it is a decent bipod, and I could be wrong on the price. I think I paid $100 for it, so it's a nice bipod, but you know, wasn't going crazy with the cost when building this rifle here. All right, let's move on. So I did build this rifle with the intention of, like I build all my rifles, running a suppressor on it. This is the Banish 30 multi-cal suppressor. I went with the multi-cal suppressor just because 19 months it took me to get this when I applied for it. And I'm not a huge fan of going through that process. So I wanted something that I can run between multiple rifles. This goes from 17 to 300 Weatherby. So you're from 17 up to your 30 cals, your 30 caliber cartridges. Boom. So I just cut that last part because I have no idea why YouTube chooses to demonetize or limit my videos. Maybe it's the installation of a suppressor, even though they said they don't go against that. I can't figure out what it is. So I had to cut that last part. But anyway, this is how it looks. This is the Banish 30 does come with it's a 7-inch suppressor, but it comes with a 2-inch extension. So right now I have it in the 9-inch configuration for maximum sound suppression. This is how it looks. I think it looks great, you know, and it sounds great. It performs great. I can't say enough good things about this Banish 30. I did hunt with it this year. As you may have seen in my other videos, you may have not, but this suppressor works wonderfully. So, all right. Not sure if YouTube considers removal of a suppressor part of the assembly, but that's why I cut that part. Anyways, if I don't want to use the Banish 30 suppressor, or any suppressor, I went with the Aero Precision VG6 Lambda PRS30. Okay, so this is a 2-piece muzzle brake, and it looks really neat to me. I like it. It has a jam nut, or you got a jam nut here in the main brake, the main body. What you do is you would screw the jam nut on, then you would go ahead and thread the brake on the barrel. So what Aero Precision says is you can tighten this hand tight, and once you back the jam nut onto the barrel, to the shoulder of the barrel, and you take a few shots, it will lock itself on there. I can confirm that does work. So you do not need to use, you don't have to, you can, but you do not need to use tools to tighten this muzzle brake onto this barrel. After the first few shots, this was locked on here. And before I made this video, I went to take this off so I can show you guys the difference of how it looks between the suppressor and the brake. And I had a little trouble getting that off because, I mean, I've had it on there for a while, so shooting it has definitely tightened it. So yeah, hand tight, and it tightens itself. Here's a closer look. I'm not sure what kind of angles we getting right now. So there's a closer look there. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and give it a good flip too, so you guys can get another look at that. Ooh, this rifle got some weight to it. Every time I pick it up, it's got some weight to it. All right. All the fun stuff has been talked about. Now let's talk about what scope I decided to go with. This is the Xsight 4K Smart HD scope. And let me get the box around here somewhere. I'll show you guys the box. All right, this scope was about $800, and it is a night vision scope. Records in, it's all electronic, so it records in 1080p, 120 frames a second. I'm gonna read to you guys the specs straight from the box so you have it live and direct. All right, so it's got a 240-foot field of view at 1,000 yards. The magnification is 5:20. It's got a 90mm eye relief. It's got a micro SD card from 4 to 256 gigabytes that you can install in here, so when it records video. That's like my favorite part of this, is the ability to record video. So I'm gonna go over that here in just a second. So it's got Bluetooth. It's got the charges through micro USB Type C. It's got an IR illuminator, it's included, which is there. It's got battery life up to 18 hours, and it weighs about 2 pounds, and it's weather resistant. So the best part about this, and when I was having a lot of fun with this scope when I first installed it and got to mess around with it a bit, is the recoil activated video. So I'm gonna set this right here for now. So the recoil activated video is, you can set the timer. I got it so it records for about 30 seconds. So after you take the shot, it'll record the previous 30 seconds, and I believe an additional 30 seconds after that, so like a minute of video. So when I took it out, and like say you're hunting with it, now it's kind of a heavy rifle to try to hunt with, but if you want to sit up on a ridge or something, it'd be it's doable. So you got an animal in your sight, you take that shot, you're like, man, that was a great shot, but you're by yourself. You don't have a video guy with you or something like that. If you want to record your hunts, you've got a buddy with you. This thing records it all. It records, and it's clear. It's a nice clear video. So it records 30 seconds before, shows the animal in your sights, you take the shot. So it's an amazing feature of this. Now this isn't a top of the line night vision scope, but it's well worth the money in my opinion. And even though it's $800, you can find them on sale quite often. I think it's normally $800. This was years ago that I bought this, probably 2-3 years ago, and I think I got it for like $400 or something like that on Amazon. I don't know how often it dips down to that price, but I got it for about $400, but it retails about $800, I believe. So the second best thing about this, aside from the recoil activated video, is the one shot zero. Okay, this one shot zero thing, and I took this to the range, and I had a bunch of older guys up there, and they were like, whoa, what the hell, what is that? What is that? And so I said, hey, it was my first time up there. So I'm like, hey, not my first time up there. It's my first time bringing this scope up there. I said, this says it only takes one shot to zero this. So you get your target in your sights, you adjust your variables. And when you take that first shot, this scope will zero itself, and it works. I tested it. I took one shot. That next shot, and I was high. I was high when I took that shot. Not I was high. The shot was high. And that next shot was dead on. So, for the money, I like it. I don't know what the price runs normally. I don't know if I would have paid $800, but I still think $800. I might have paid. I might, not that I did, but I probably would pay that, seeing as a lot of night vision, unless the prices are coming down. Like I said, I haven't looked at a lot of night vision in a long time. Let's take a look at that again. I haven't looked at a lot of night vision in a long time to see what the pricing is, but I know it was up there at one point. And the features this has, haven't had any issues with it. It is electronic. That does worry me sometimes when an all electronic scope, because electronics fail. So this isn't something that I don't know if I trust my life on it because it's electronic. But so far, so good. You know, seeing any other features on here. Like I said, it's got vivid imaging, record HD video, ballistic calculator. It's got a ballistic calculator, a dual screen video. Oh, and it also pairs to your phone, so you can someone else could watch, or you could watch this video through your phone, whether that's live video or pre-recorded video. It's a smart rangefinder. It's got a rangefinder, ultra low power consumption, one shot zero. Share. You can share to social media. You take the shot. Hey, send that to Facebook. Send that to YouTube. I guess. Just have some fun with it. I guess, you know. Let's see if we missed anything else here. So we went from, you know, we got our suppressor. If we want to run that, muzzle brake, barrel, foregrip, rail, bipod, grip, lower, upper, buttstock, scope, BCG. I think we went over it all. Yeah, so thinking about doing a video on this guy. I actually promised you guys a video on this guy a while back. This was this AR-15 here was in my first video, one of my first gun videos, and I was in the midst of building it. So in this build, just really quickly, I did go with a 15-inch rail, and I want to say an 11-inch barrel. So that rail cannot, this gun cannot be shot without some sort of device, sort of muzzle device on the end, and it has to be an extended muzzle device. So the point was, I did that just so I could, and I may have to cut this part because of YouTube. There you go. So I was running this in the 7-inch configuration when I first put this on because I like the look of it. I mean, 9 is fine, but I did run the 11-inch barrel with the 15-inch rail, 15.5-inch rail, just so I could tuck that suppressor a bit, because I've always liked the look of a tucked suppressor. Just looks beautiful to me. And running my Streamlight ProTech HLX that I love to run on a lot of my rifles. So yeah, maybe I should do a video on this one. But you guys got any questions about my AR-10 build? It, like I said, everything works great. I haven't had any issues with it. It's been a fun build. It's been a semi-expensive build. I mean, I guess expensive really depends on who you're talking to. So yeah, if you guys got any questions about this build, any comments, are you building an AR-10 right now? You know, let me know, and let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you got going on. Once again, if you're a bolt fiend, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. I'd appreciate it. And like I said, I always love talking to my gun friends. So thanks for watching, and see y'all next time.